WN, Chapter 80, Relieving Her Pain. When the roommate returned to the room after taking all the medicines she could find with her, her eyes nearly popped out of its socket from shock upon witnessing Mengjia's naked body on the bed. "Ah, what do you think you are doing to her, you barbaric pervert?" she shrieked loudly. Just as she was prepared to pounce on Su Yang, Meng Jia spoke in a low voice. "Sister Chen. Stop, it's not what you think." Sister Chen, whose full name was Chen Yu, quickly stopped her movements after hearing Meng Jia's voice. "Do I look like someone to assault a young lady, much less an injured one?" Su Yang sneered coldly, and he continued. "Hurry up and give me the medicines in your hand so I can start my treatment." Ah, right, Chen Yu snapped out of her daze and handed what little medicine she had in her hands to him. "This is it, you won't even be able to heal a small bruise with this amount of medicine, much less this many serious wounds." Su Yang sighed. "It is uncommon for disciples to receive injuries that require much medical attention here in the Profound Blossom sect, as we usually avoid physical activities that could possibly lead to injuries." Chen Yu explained to him the reason for their lack of medicine supply. When one's appearance within the Profound Blossom sect, where everybody is either handsome or beautiful, mattered more than their life most of the time, they wouldn't do something as foolish and as dangerous as fighting, as that could easily lead to permanent scars on their figures, which will greatly lower their charm and overall chance of finding a partner. Their appearance was something the majority of the disciples didn't dare to risk, as even something as little as a permanent small scratch on their face could potentially change their life as a disciple within the sect drastically. "Whatever, the medicine isn't required for the treatment, but I asked for it anyway just so I have a little more resource in my hands." Su Yang then began mixing all of the medicines together until it was a paste. After putting the medicine paste on his hands, he spoke. "I will now begin my treatment. I won't ask you to leave as long as you don't bother us during the treatment." "I understand." Chen Yu quickly moved to a corner, where she silently watched Su Yang begin rubbing the paste onto Meng Jia's body. "I will now start the treatment. You do not have to worry about anything. Just close your eyes and relax," said Su Yang to Meng Jia. Meng Jia, who had expected the pain on her body to increase from Su Yang's touch, even stealing her resolve, was pleasantly surprised when she first felt Su Yang's soft hands rubbing the medicine onto her body. Instead of feeling pain like she'd expected, her body was actually feeling pleasure despite the clear pressure Su Yang was putting into his arms. How did he manage such magical and profound effects? The first area Su Yang covered in medicine was Meng Jia's soft and seemingly fragile neck, slowly moving to the lower area as time passed. First her neck, then her chest, her breasts, her stomach, her arms, and her thighs and legs. Once he was finished with applying medicine to the front part of her body, he flipped her over to her back where he continued to rub medicine on her soft back and tender buttocks, leaving every part of her body that was bruised covered in a green paste in a matter of minutes. Furthermore, Su Yang saved her pelvic area for last, as that seemed to be the most sensitive and wounded part of her body. When he reached that point, he gave extra care to her bottom lips, even sticking his fingers into her hole to reach for the areas that could not be physically seen. Meng Jia could no longer hold her breath and released a low moan when Su Yang began caressing her sweet paradise. The way Su Yang touched her was unlike anything she has ever felt before, and she quickly forgot about the pain in her body, as she was so enthralled by the heavenly pleasure that embraced her body that she was unable to feel anything else but pleasure. And after experiencing many days of rough assaults to her poor body, there was nothing in this world that could possibly relieve her the pain in her body and mind more than Su Yang's gentle touches at this moment. Meanwhile, Chen Yu's mouth was wide open from shock during the entire time Su Yang treated Meng Jia. Is this what he considered as a treatment? Isn't he just giving her a massage while covering her body in medicine paste? And why does Meng Jia look so blissful despite having her bruised body rubbed by Su Yang? Hell, she could even see Su Yang's finger pressing into Meng Jia's muscle. Surely, that must have hurt like hell. However, after watching them for a prolonged time and seeing the way Su Yang touched her bottom lips, Chen Yu started feeling sweaty, even imagining herself in Meng Jia's position. Su Yang? Chen Yu suddenly found the name familiar sounding, and she quickly recalled the talk of a massage parlor within the outer court that was quite popular among the girls that was still being talked about until just a few days ago. Don't tell me he's the divine hands that everyone and their mother has been talking about lately, she wondered. After spending an hour treating Meng Jia's injuries, Su Yang finally retrieved his hands and wiped the sweat on his forehead. Because he was using his profound qi to heal her wounds by directly pushing it into her body, Su Yang felt as though he had just given over 100 continuous massages despite only giving one massage in reality. Her injuries, they are nearly all gone, Chen Yu exclaimed loudly after witnessing Meng Jia's body for herself once the treatment was finished. Chen Yu has never seen or heard of anything like this before. Meng Jia's body that was almost entirely black and blue just an hour ago has changed drastically after the treatment. Now, her body no longer looked like a bloody mess but much healthier, looking as though she had received some sort of plastic surgery. Even Meng Jia looked at her body with astonished eyes filled with shock and disbelief. Although there was still slight pain in her body, it was not to the degree to where she could not even move her body without feeling the need to cry. It was a heavenly miracle. Su Yang, how can I thank you for this? Meng Jia looked at him with teary eyes. There is no need to thank me, as I am a man who cherishes woman. even if that woman already belongs to someone else. So if I see one in great pain, it is only natural for me to help her, said Su Yang, still managing to show her a bright smile despite his exhausted state.